Hi, welcome to my 112 project, AI Chatbot. So what is this project? I'm creating a chatbot based on a hybrid rules-based and generative approach. It responds to the user's input appropriately and in a personalized manner. How does this work? I split this into 4 components. Firstly, we have sentiment analysis, which is determining what is the ratio of negative and positive words in a sentence that a user has typed, and then coming up with a compound score to accurately identify what the user's current mood is. Secondly, we have part of speech tagging, which tells us what kind of response the user is expecting. So for example, with a greeting, they would expect a return greeting. For a question, they would expect an answer, and so on. From then on, we create a template for how the AI should respond. Thirdly, we have text generation using Markov chains, which is a probability-based process of determining what the next word is, given the previous word or the previous few words. We use this to generate new original sentences from the AI's database. Lastly, we have user personalization features, which include a custom database for each user, as well as sentiment tracking for each user. So for step 1, we have sentiment analysis. Once we train the model, we can feed it the user's text input. We calculate a positivity and negativity score and come up with a compound score that we return over here in this function. Next, we have part of speech tagging. So in this example, the user types, "I'm feeling great today because my exam was amazing." We're able to identify that the pronoun is I, the verb is feeling, the subject, which is the cause of the user's positive emotion, is the exam, and amazing is a word that the user used to describe his experience. We know that the user feels ecstatic, just like in this log message, because of the exam in present tense, and because this is a declarative message, we know that the user expects some sort of comment or some sort of follow-up in this conversation. Take note that we're tracking the user's current mood in this message of 0.8655, which is positive. We're also tracking the user's current mood in this session and the user's usual mood across all sessions. In this next example, the user asks a question, "Where should I go for lunch?" We know that this is an interrogative question, and we expect a place related to lunch as an answer. Lastly, we have the user's greeting, "How are you today?" We know that the user expects a greeting as a return message to this one, and that's exactly what the AI will do. Here's an example of text generation and how the AI replies based on whatever the user has said. So for example, "Hi there, how are you today? How's it hanging? I'm feeling fine. What about you?" "I love ice cream." "Okay, I understand you're feeling delighted. I had a really terrible exam." The AI responds, "I understand you're feeling unhappy because of the exam, but when life tosses lemons at you, I've got your back." What a nice thing to say. Next, we have this feature of built-in dictionary definitions, where the AI is able to draw upon all the things in its database to come up with a factual definition for the things that it knows, and if it doesn't, it simply replies that it doesn't know. Here, for example, we have the definition of an axolotl. Next, we have the user personalization features. The first part is using a custom database. The AI learns your vocabulary and uses it as training data every time you type a message. After interacting with each user, it gains a custom database that generates unique replies. This results in a greater frequency of using certain words based on the user's input. In other words, the AI learns to text like you. Next, we have sentiment tracking. It's not about how you feel in a certain session, but how much you currently differ in your last message based on how you normally text. So if my mood is usually very positive, if in my last message it suddenly became very negative, the AI knows that it should probably generate some sort of consolation or some sort of overwhelmingly positive comment on my message in order to improve my mood. So thank you for watching. Here are some bloopers for you to enjoy. The AI says, "I'm not able to get well soon." And congrats on being engaged when I tell it that ice cream is the love of my life. Nice. Thanks for watching.